Hello, and thank you for joining me. My name is Debra Baker, and I am so grateful that you have joined me for this meditation for a little while, where we get to settle in and relax and just let go. And today we are going to look into remember that we are not alone, that we are surrounded by spirit guides, guardian angels, besides the divine presence moving in, through, and as each of us. It is all around us as well. And you have these precious, precious spirit guides, guardian angels, loved ones who have passed away, who are committed to being there for you. So let's get started. Let's begin with our 3 nice deep breaths. Filling up your lungs, holding it for a second, letting it go, breathing in a little more deeply this time, holding it, and breathing out more slowly. And now the last time, the deepest breath you've taken all day. Hold it and then release it very, very slowly. And as you continue with the meditation, your breath will probably get slower and a little deeper. Just be sure to keep it at a rate that is most comfortable for you. And relax, let go, allow the infinite to guide you. Sorry about the noise. So what my guides told me today was that we are going to focus on our spiritual support that is just so prevalent around us, much more so than any of us ever realize. And we are going to have times of silence to connect with our spirit guides. So we know that we are infinite spirit, having a human experience. And the way I have come to understand it is that we are in the oneness, and then we, through this kind of collective agreement or individual, it doesn't really matter, but we decide to have a human experience. And the part that I think a lot of us forget is that lots and lots of spirit guides, guardian angels, various expressions of the infinite agree or, very happily, choose to come with us into these experiences. We have this sense of aloneness, which is certainly understandable because when we are born, we have this experience of being separate. While we're in the womb, we are, one with our mothers, and then we're born, and suddenly we are in these separate human bodies. And I believe that we see our spirit guides, guardian angels, all of these energetic presences and angelic presences around us when we are born. So we see that while we are separate, we're not alone. And of course, as individuals will do, babies have varying levels of being able to see these spirit guides, guardian angels. And my sense is that there is one prevalent guide or spirit that says, I am going to be your constant companion. So let's spend a few moments of silence just recognizing our constant companions. And there's a lot of vernacular in our language about, something was looking out for me. I don't know where that idea came from. Something made me think of you today. My sense is all of those somethings are nudges from Spirit. When you think of someone, is it because they're thinking of you, or is it because there's a divine idea for both of you to think of one another? So I invite you to just imagine. I have been doing my spiritual work for well over 30 years, and I see people ask me about their spirit guides, and my sense is that there is a small group of guides, 5 to 6, and they could be loved ones who have passed away or beings that just exist in spirit, beings that have been angels or are angels. And there's about 5 or 6 of them that are what I would call your core team. So let's just have a few moments of silence for you to just feel the presence. My sense is they usually feel like they are behind you, as though they literally have your back. And so let's just settle in and imagine these spiritual beings traveling this journey with us. And if you can think of major roles that you have in your life, for example, perhaps wife, husband, mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, worker, boss, support person, caregiver, volunteer, whatever those roles are, there is probably a guide that is with you for that relationship. So I invite you now to think about one of your primary relationships and imagine a guide. And if it's a relationship with work, it would be one guide. If it's a relationship with a person, then it would be your guide and their guide. And so we'll have another moment of silence to just imagine your guide either working with you in a task, or your guide and another person's guide working together to enhance your relationship. And while we're at it, before we get into talking about loved ones who have passed away, who are around us, I've talked about the Fred technique before, and if you have questions about it, feel free to message me. But it's about kind of silently working on a relationship with someone. And what you do is, first you imagine someone, and I suggested someone that you have difficulties with. Whether it's just somebody that you have a hard time seeing eye to eye with, or there's something that's come up in your relationship right now. And I invite you to visualize along with me. I'll ask your spirit guides, invite your spirit guides to meet Fred, who came up with this technique, called it powwow, to powwow with that other person's spirit guides. So just see your spirit guides and their spirit guides getting together. So they are one with the infinite, without any obstruction, without any human encumbrances. And so they can map out a plan, they can shift hearts and ideas and thoughts, attitudes. So just picture your guides and their guides powwowing together, and then let it go. Don't try to visualize what they're saying or how they're doing it. Put it in their hands completely. Put them in a room and close the door. And we'll have a few moments of silence now to think about a relationship that is working, that makes you very, very happy. And when we think about things that are working, we support them in working better. So when we focus on the good gets better and better and better. So I truly invite you to focus on what is working. All of your relationships that are humming along, that are just bringing you much joy and satisfaction. Now let's think about loved ones who have passed away. Sometimes they are around us and they're quiet, so we think they're not there. And there are many, many, many explanations for that. Sometimes they don't feel like they have, or they need to offer anything, or they just want their quiet energy around you. Sometimes they were quiet, you knew them as a quiet person, and so they continue with that aspect of their personality. But choose one of them. And I have a quick little story to tell. I had a wonderful session with an energy worker last week, and her name is Christy, and she was just fabulous, and I rarely get to have that privilege. And she said, there's someone here, and I already knew who it was because she kept using the words magic and magical, which were some of my dad's favorite words. And so when she said, there's an older man here, I knew exactly who it was. So I invite you to just trust whatever being you wish. You hear the bells? That's a confirmation. Whatever being you wish were around you, whatever person who has passed away that you'd like to spend some time with, just invite them to be with you, and we'll have some quiet now for you to just feel their presence or have a little conversation. And let me reassure you that your loved ones are around you, and if you had a contentious relationship with them, they have let that personality go. They've let it go. Whatever, might have been between the two of you is no longer an issue. Whether you need to forgive them or they need to forgive you, once their spirit leaves their body, it is no longer an issue for them. And if they sense that you are suffering from something in the past, they do everything in their power to free you from that. And if you need more information, I invite you to schedule a session with me, because those conversations can be extremely helpful and extremely powerful in freeing us from issues from the past that hold us stuck. Because today is a new day. I know that sounds really cliche, but we get to start again over and over again, because this moment right here is the only one that is real. Everything else exists in your mind. So I invite you to remember that you are not alone, that you have many, many guides, spirit guides, guardian angels, loved ones who have passed away, perhaps even beings from other realms or existences, planets, galaxies. We don't know what's out there, but I guarantee you it is all working together in your favor, especially when you believe it to be so. So know it is a friendly universe. Know that deep in your heart. It is a friendly universe working together for your highest good. Working together for your highest good. I invite you to stop working against yourself and feel the universe working for you. Take a nice deep breath and know that your infinite spirit is one with all that is. Your infinite spirit is whole and perfect. Our humanness is not designed for any sort of perfection. So of course we don't find perfection there, but where we find perfection is in our souls, in our infinite nature. So you are whole and perfect exactly as you are, and beautiful, and loved, and love itself. So let's bring our attention back to this day and wherever you are, and know that as you go forth, whether it's if you're listening to this before you go to sleep and you have wonderful dreams about all of the support that you have, or whether you're going out to face your day, know that you are not alone, that God is expressing all around you, spirit guides, guardian angels, loved ones who have passed away. And if you want, you can find God, you can find the divine in every person you meet, every person you pass, every person you see and can think of. And so I know and see the God in you, the infinite presence moving in, through, and as you. We are so blessed, aren't we? Namaste.